What's up, everybody? We're going to make corned wild meats today. So it's one of the easiest, most delicious recipes you can make with wild game. It's great for goose, especially snow goose, but any other meat. It's a great dish to make if it's St. Patrick's Day or not. I got a hodgepodge of meats in here today. So the meat I'm gonna be corning include, this is a Goose deer from Arizona, a gadwall because I accidentally grabbed it out, moose from Alberta, elk from New Mexico, got more elk, or this is deer actually from Missouri, got Canada goose, and then I've got a bunch of snow goose because corned snow goose hash is one of my favorite things to eat. So for the recipe on this corned meats is off the Field and Stream website. I've got a link to that below, as well as a link to where you can get all the ingredients that you need to make corned meat at your house. It's super simple. There's a few different recipes out there on corned meats, but I think this one from Field and Stream is one of the simplest. So the first thing you're gonna need is 2 quarts of water. Now this recipe works for, they recommend like 4 big Canada Goose breast pieces, but obviously I'm gonna need to make a few batches of this. So this recipe makes about 12 or so snow goose breasts, so just depending on what you're making, this may be good enough, or you may need to make a little more like I will obviously today. So you're gonna need a half a cup of canning and pickling salt, a half a cup of Tender Quick, quarter cup of sugar with the water, put it in a pot, boil it on the stove just so everything melts together. Next step, extremely important, make sure that cools down before you put your meats in with the brine. So when it comes to brine time, you're gonna have 3 tablespoons of pickling spices. I usually go a little heavier on that. About 12 peppercorns. Again, I'll probably do a few more than 12. Then it says about 6 to 10 garlic cloves smashed. If you don't have those on hand, I do not. I've got minced garlic, so I'll give a couple really healthy spoonfuls. So I'll add that in with the cool brine, put that over the meat, put it in either like a glass or plastic container, Ziploc bag also works. Let that sit in the fridge for about a week. This will work especially well if you got the old garage fridge, which I'll be putting all this in. All right, I've got batch number 1 in. As you can see, it's kind of floating a little bit, so I'm gonna add a plate to it, and that'll just sink it all down for a while. You just need to keep stirring it up. Tupperware lid on. Burp it. Then let's go to the garage refrigerator, which I'm sure you all have one. Take it out, chow. Good thing I just cleaned the garage today. All right, in she goes. I'll see it in about a week. And y'all want to see our chickens? Come here. Got some baby chickens. So we're hatching a bunch downstairs, but couldn't help myself. I went to Orscheln's the other day, so we got 2 Wyandottes, 2 Barred Rock, and a Buff Orpington. Now it's time for cooking. Take the meat out, give it a quick rinse, add in at least 3 more tablespoons of fresh pickling spices. I also like to then put in some potatoes, later down the road, some cabbage, maybe throw some onions in there as well, and boil it up and cook it until done. Now make sure you cook it thoroughly. I always like to cook mine a little bit longer so it falls apart instead of need to be sliced, but that just kind of depends on the meat as well. So again, link to the recipe, link to all the stuff you need to make this recipe at home is down below. Thanks for watching.